Hello and welcome to another video. This week's job prep class is about the interview question, what is your availability? What does availability even mean? We're going to talk about that and more in this video. I'm Nancy from Desert Haven Enterprises in Lancaster, California. I teach weekly job class lessons and I help people find work out in the community. This video is going to cover 4 things. Why do employers ask what your availability is for work? How to answer that question in an interview and on job applications. Example answers to the question that you can use as examples. And examples on job applications and how to fill out that section of a job application. First up, why do employers even ask this question? Employers want to know that you can work when they need you, when they are busy, if they have particular shifts they need to cover. Maybe their morning person is quitting and they need a new person to work in the mornings. They want to make sure that you're available the hours that they need. That's where we get the word availability, that you're available. If you can't commit to the shifts that they need you to work, the essential shift requirements of the job, you might not be a fit for that job. So you don't want to tell them you're available to work and then not be able to work the shifts that they need you to work. It's best if you get it out of the way, be honest about your availability so that you and the interviewer will realize this before you accept the offer. You want to find out when they need you, and they want to find out when you're available. That's why they ask. They ask, what is your availability in every interview and on every application? It might sound different in some. I have a list here I'm going to read. It might sound different in different interviews, but it's basically the same question. How soon can you begin working? If you're not available for 2 weeks, then you want to make sure that you tell them you're not available for 2 weeks. They might ask you, what hours are you looking to work? They might ask you, what days are you available to work? They might ask you, what's your ideal working hours, right? And see if that matches up with what they need. They might ask you if there's any days or times that you cannot work. Those would be times when you're not available. They might ask you, what hours are you available each day? And they might ask you about early morning or late night. So if you're willing to work overnight, very early in the morning or very late, they might ask about specific shifts. So it might sound a little bit different in every interview, but you should know before you go into an interview what your availability is. When are you available to work? Here are some tips how to answer the question, what is your availability? Research the company hours. Find out before the interview what the hours of the business is, what hours is that store open, what hours is that restaurant open. Find out when they're the busiest. In grocery stores and big retailers, nights and weekends are the busiest. In other businesses, it might be different. So find out when they're going to be busy, because that's when they're going to need you probably. Unless there's some other circumstances, they usually need people the most during their busy times. Look at your schedule. Do you have commitments during the week that are more important than work, like doctor's appointments, things like that, that if these things are a priority to you, you need to mention that. You don't have to tell them why you need days off. If you need certain days off, I need Tuesdays off, I need Thursdays off, like that. Be prepared to say that in the interview. You want to highlight the availability. Talk about your ideal schedule and how that fits with their business needs. Like if you're looking to work in a place that's busy on nights and weekends, you want to tell them I'm available all nights and weekends, right? Because that fits in with what they need. But be honest. You don't want to walk into a place and get hired and immediately change your availability. They hired you on the basis of having a certain availability. You said you were available weekends and now all of a sudden you're not available weekends. Be honest. It's better just to not take the job than to tell them you're available when you're not. Be honest so that you're not scheduled when you can't or don't want to be working. So it's better to be honest. And then also share your future plans. If you have a big vacation coming up or an event, a wedding, graduation, things like that, or plan to start school, let them know in the interview. It's not that they can't work around that stuff, but it's just fair to the employer to say, hey, my family's going to Hawaii in 2 months, right? I'm going to need that week off, okay? Not during the holidays. If you have vacation scheduled over the holidays, you should wait till after the holidays to start work because businesses are very busy at the holidays and they're going to need you there. Here's some example answers to the question, what is your availability to work? If you, what does it say? Full-time in school. This answer says, I'm flexible on start times during the work week. I am taking evening classes this semester, so I need to finish by 6 p.m. However, I am willing to take on additional work during the weekend if necessary. So what this person is saying is they are flexible during the week, but they have to be off by 6 o'clock because they have night classes. But I love how they said at the end, I'm willing to take on additional work on the weekend if necessary. So you want your answer to be more about when you are available than when you're not. You want to be honest about when you're not available, but highlight or make sure you tell them all the times that you are available, right? If you have family commitments, here's one. I'm available between 8:30 and 3 on Monday through Friday. My daughter just started kindergarten. I need to pick her up from school. I'm also available on the weekends because my husband takes care of her then. So even though she has family commitments of picking her daughter up Monday through Friday, she says, I'm also available on the weekends. And she's just letting the employer know, this is what I have. This is when I'm available, okay? Some people want to spend time with the weekends with their families, and here's one that's like that. Says, I'm ready to work Monday through Friday, and I'm very flexible on those start and end times during the weekdays. I appreciate my family time during the weekends, but I'm more than willing to work beyond the standard hours during the week. So if this guy's applying for a job that may be 60 hours a week, he wants to get all those hours done between Monday and Friday. These next two answers, you can't see because of my head. Let me move that. Whoop. Hi. These two answers are the best if you're applying for a shift job and that you're truly available anytime for any shift. This one says, my schedule is flexible. I can work any shift you need me to. That is a short, sweet, and really nice answer that employers like to hear. Let me say it again. My schedule is flexible. I can work any shift you need me to. Like that, okay? And then here's another one that's longer but similar. It says, I am free and ready to start whenever you need me. I am flexible and willing to work whenever the team needs me most. Those are great answers because it shows that you're available anytime and that you're putting the business needs and the needs of your team as priority over everything else in your life. Employers like to hear that. We all have lives outside of work, but when you're in a job interview situation, you really want to demonstrate your commitment to working when they need you to work, right? I'm going to have some, yeah, okay. The best answers will highlight the hours and shifts that you can work. So you want to mention the times that you cannot work, but you don't want to focus on that. You want the focus to be letting them know that you will be there when they need you. If you are available anytime at all, that's called open availability. And that is usually what employers are looking for. Not everybody, but I've been to several Walmart interviews where they made people sign a paper saying they had open availability, that they were available anytime. So a lot of times that is what they're looking for because they need people to fill holes in the schedule wherever they can. Be honest if you have other commitments. If your commitments are keeping you from working the hours that they need, they might hire someone else, and that job just might not be a good fit for you. So be honest with yourself whether or not you can commit to working weekends or working nights or working mornings or working Tuesdays. Be honest. It might work out. It might be a situation where the employer doesn't need anybody on Tuesdays, and that would be perfect for you. So if you're available anytime, that is called open availability, and that's a good availability to have. If you have it, not everybody does, and that's okay. All job applications, online and paper applications, have a section that will ask you about your availability. You want to mark the hours that you are available, not your preferred shift. So even though in a perfect world, you might want to work from 10 to 6, but the store is open from 8 a.m. to 11 o'clock at night, let's say. Even though you want to work from 10 to 6, you want to put your availability as larger than that so that they have some options of when they can schedule you. So you might want to put 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. or 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. or something like that, so that the employer has a little bit of options there. In this particular example, the chart says, please put in the maximum hours you can work. For example, if you can work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Mondays, write down 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. for Monday. And then it also asks you at the bottom, total maximum hours per week that you prefer to work. No guarantees. This is just your preference. Here's an example of how to fill that out. Oop, here we go. This person goes to church on Sundays. So on Sunday, they put from 3 to 10, 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. But the rest of the week, they put 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday available. At all the rest of the week, they're available at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then on the weekends, they put themselves as available till 11 p.m. because the store is open later. They left it blank underneath here, total maximum hours. Don't put over 40, but be realistic about how many hours a week that you want to work. And also be realistic about most restaurants and retail do not hire anybody at 40 hours a week. So you're looking to put 25 to 35 is probably your best bet there. Then they're going to schedule you those 25, 35 hours within the time frame that you set here, between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. You're not going to work from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. You're going to work a shift somewhere in between those hours. You're available from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. It's not your shift. Availability. Here's another one. I copied these off of job applications. The ones on online applications look similar, but you'd be typing in the answers. This one asks days and hours available, whether or not you're seeking full-time, part-time, the date you're available, how many hours. And this person put that they're available anytime, any. That's perfect. They're also willing to take a full or part-time job with the X right there, full or part-time. On how many hours they can work weekly, they put 30 to 40. 30 is usually considered part-time, but that's a lot of hours for a restaurant or a retail job. Can you work nights? They put yes. And when are they available? They put in 2 weeks. If there's a specific date, you could put that as well. The next example is a little bit blurry, but this is also very similar to what you might see on an online application where you're going to put check marks, the days and times you're available to work so we can match up to our store needs. Please note the times listed below are approximate start and finish times. Please select the times closest to your availability. So this person is available on Mondays during the day and the afternoons. They're not available at all on Tuesdays. They're available day and afternoon on Wednesday and Friday, but not Thursday. But then on the weekends, they're available early in the morning and in the daytime. So it's a weird schedule, but it might work out. They have school on Tuesdays and Thursdays or something like that. This next example says availability and job position. So there's a couple more questions here. They have the hours that you're available each day, each week, and then they want you to know if you want working part-time or seasonal. And then at the bottom it says store hours will vary based on the time of year. During the holiday season, most stores are open until midnight. The holiday season is a whole different game in retail. They are open way more hours and they're way busier, and you really want to be available at any time that they might need you. There was a day when stores like Target were open 24 hours on the day after Thanksgiving, and some people worked overnight shifts that day. So you want to be available when they need you. If you're not available, that's okay, but just know that you might not get the job if you're not available when they need you. So on this one, the person circled part-time, but they put that they were available open to close. That is an absolutely okay way to say that I'm not exactly sure what time you start people in the morning, but I'm available from whenever you open to whenever you close. It's like any availability, but not necessarily overnights. So open to close is good. But on Tuesdays and Thursdays, this person has school. So they marked off school on Tuesday and Thursday. But on Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, they're available from open to close. That's a good availability. Tuesdays and Thursdays are a fine day to take off because it's not the busiest days of the week. Of course, there are school vacations when you might be available all week long. You could let your manager know, hey, I'm available this week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But for the most part, it's fine, and most places will work around your school schedule. That's the end. Do you have any questions? Leave them for me in the comments or contact me on Facebook. Thank you very much. Here's some credits. There's a great article on Indeed.com about your availability. And thank you to Slidesmania for these awesome PowerPoints. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.